3, 2, 1. Oh! Maybe this is how he feels. Welcome to Knifey, where we take your YouTube video and make it our YouTube video. And I'll admit, it feels a little weird to be making an entire video based off of something that I already saw on somebody else's channel. But, I'm afraid I'm already here, so might as well go for it, right? So, imagine, if you will, you're me, and for a whole entire week, for whatever reason, you've had nothing but bad dreams every night. Like, not nightmares, just like incredibly annoying dreams. Like, one time I dreamt about being commissioned by this dude who only later did I find out posts nothing but zoom-ins of waifu girl armpits. And it was like, oh no, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. But I already have your money. Okay, maybe that is a nightmare. But you know, I would have dreams like that, get absolutely jump scared awake, knowing that later I would have to be downstairs, eating breakfast, suddenly uncontrollably worried about something and just irrationally grumpy. At least that was the case until one night at like 9 p.m. I was writing for a video and had a Drawfee stream open on another tab. And before I knew it, I must have been so tired by this point that I had lost all energy to be funny anymore. So with my heavy, tired little eyes, I closed Google Docs just to listen to the sound of their voices. And that was the best sleep I've had all week. Okay, sorry, hang on. I'm aware of how I've amassed myself two completely different audiences here. So for those of you who aren't familiar yet, Drawfee is kind of like a J-idol group, except they're a YouTube channel where neither of the members sing nor dance, and all of them are ex-College Humor artists in New York. Their whole shtick is just being like four good friends, hanging out, drawing stupid things for fun, and it's a good time until something absolutely bog-ass like Grinch, Gajinka, Ace Attorney becomes part of your everyday vocabulary and nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. You might also find that Drawfee fans, besides speaking like a capybara hit the middle autocomplete button in our brains, have this tendency to watch their videos to relax. Which is an ironic thing to do with a channel named after coffee, I know, but it's true. Their content just has this like chill, calming, long drawn out atmosphere, so I guess that's kind of why I completely fell asleep that time. But then you see, viewer, since I had already messed up my sleep schedule with the nights prior, my body didn't actually need that much sleep anymore. So there I was, 2 hours later, waking up in the middle of the night as if it's noon and I just had a power nap. And around this time, because, hey, time zones exist, I got a notification saying that Drawfee had just uploaded a new video. So I had a foolproof master plan, you see. I thought to myself, hey, if I fell asleep watching their videos earlier, right? Then surely, with that logic, I can watch this and fall asleep again, no problem, right? Except that wasn't what happened, because what happened instead is that when I watched this video, I ended up having this sudden urge to draw and make a video just like this. And now I really can't sleep until I know it can be done. Hello Earth Dimension, I'm exhausted, and this is the Song Shuffle Drawing Challenge. So the prompt of that episode was suggested to Drawfee by a fan, and it was based off of a pre-existing artist meme by Femicy that went around Tumblr for a bit. And so basically what the challenge is, what you do is that you hop on your streaming service, and then you want to shuffle your music for a little bit until 3 songs fall out of the hat. The first 2 songs you land on, you'll have to make characters out of, and the third song will define these 2 characters' relationship to each other. Okay, without any sort of further dilly-dallying, let's have a look at what songs I landed on. A Sorrowful Reunion by Reality Club, Karina by Dandy Hensteel featuring Vila Sabala, and finally, Dilemma by A-Pink. I'll explain these songs as we go along in case you haven't heard of them yet, but for the people who have, doesn't this just already absolutely reek of webtoon? Okay, so for our first song, I actually want to talk about Karina first because that's a lot more interesting to me. You know, I knew you were gonna say that. And don't think you're slick either! Karina, the Dandy Hensteo song, and the only type of Karina that I'm going to be referring to for the rest of this video is a song about this dude confessing his love to this girl. And you'll never guess what her name is. So, he sang all this mushy stuff like, "Oh, Karina, I swear, my heart froze the moment I laid eyes on you. You're just so stunning, so gorgeous. I literally want you so bad, so won't you please carve me a path towards your heart?" Karina actually has a verse in this song. She had about 30 seconds to reply and used all of it to harshly reject this dude in the most polite way possible. Okay, so this song is in Indonesian, so there's not a lot of good translations of it out there. Luckily for you though, memang gua ada sini. Tunggu dulu. Jangan berharap mampu dapatkan diriku. Hold your horses, sir. Please quit hoping on the off chance that you can actually afford somebody like me. Karena aku tak mau. Cause I don't want you. Pergilah. Go away. Bawa pulang hatimu. So what I'm thinking, for my character of Karina, is that she's expensive. Like, she's this girl who everybody has a crush on. She's smart, she's talented, she plays sports. Just about everybody knows about her accolades, but not a single person can name one personality trait off of her. And I also like to think that she's this kind of gorgeous that kind of intimidates you a little bit. Like, tall, skinny, long, dark hair. You've seen this character design a million times already. You know what it means already. What? Asian? No! Untouchable! And sad. She attracts a very certain but large crowd, is what I've decided. And that's why this dude was down so bad. What's that? I can't hear you! You think it's gotten dark outside because it's raining? Well, don't be silly, Sugar Cube. That's simply my cousin Ray-Bans hanging out outside, and I'd surely greatly appreciate it if he left. But it's fine. Why did I put it there? Now, Sorrowful Reunion is about two people who are a relatively good couple, but for whatever reason, through a myriad of unexplained circumstances, just broke up. But now here they are, meeting each other again after some time later, so sentimental and crying so hard that it can be mistaken for the rain. Reminiscing upon the beautiful times they had together, they asked themselves, yeah, why did we do that? Also, hey, Reality Club? Ooh. I highly recommend them if you like crying to lyrics. Anyways, if you recall, the third song of this challenge would be defining Karina and Sorrowful Reunion's relationship. And Dilemma by A-Pink is a song all about a relationship where neither of you really liked each other, but you're besties. Y'all should have broken up a long time ago, but I already put so much time and commitment into it already, so it's like... I think Sorrowful Reunion, the character, might have been popular too, in her own right. Maybe she and her partner were the local sweethearts of high school, but ever since the big breakup, her reputation kind of sullied a bit. And being unable to handle losing this many things at the same time, Sorrowful Reunion fell into an emotional pit. Now, I don't think that Karina and Sorrowful Reunion had ever crossed paths before this point, you know, because Sorrowful was usually hanging out with her friends or her partner, while Karina prefers to keep to herself. However, maybe after seeing Sorrowful Reunion's sudden change in behavior, Karina must have gotten a little worried and decided to check up on her one day. And now, Sorrowful, being in a position where she's so desperate for another person in her life, somebody as scary as Karina coming out of the blue just to help must have meant something to her. 'Cause, hey viewer, here's a fun detail about Karina. And it's that she's the type of person who you've definitely met, but never really got to know. And it's kind of tough for me to communicate that kind of mystery and silence to you through a medium where nobody talks, so As part of her character design, I thought it would be fun to give her like a face mask and like bangs that would cover like half of her face. And hopefully that should read visually as her being the quiet type, or to say that she believes that if anybody were to ever say that she was the most beautiful woman that they've ever seen, well, then they're probably either lying or have no idea what they're talking about. Because of this aspect of her, everybody kind of has their own perception of who Karina really is. This may be why it can be so easy for you to hate her or fall in love with her, because when somebody is that far away from you, it can be incredibly easy for you to project who you need in your life onto that person. And right now, what Sorrowful Reunion needs is somebody who will listen to her, the same way her partner used to. All the time, without complaint whatsoever. And what ends up happening is this sort of parasitic, maybe even parasocial relationship between them, where one of them doesn't understand what it means to not be the main character of somebody else's life. Meanwhile, the other one doesn't understand that always agreeable doesn't always translate to being a good friend. And lastly, I drew all of these Valentine's gifts around them as if to say that technically they do have other choices, or even if they don't want to take those choices, then there is a world outside of each other. But they don't care. They're stuck together now. They're besties. Yeah, she kind of sucks, but she gets me, you know? She understands my heart. She's kind of the only one that I have. Hey. Remember when I said that this was reek of webtoon? I need to change my battery pack. So this is a drawing done. Do you like it? I think it's okay. I really pulled this one out of my ass, didn't I? It was such a fun exercise though. Like, I love making characters so much. We gotta do this more often, okay? The composition and the shading I think came out super nice. Proportions could have been better, but I've climbed a mountain like this before, you see. So surely I can improve upon this one too. I like this little logo in the corner. Like, did you know that logo making can just mean stretching out a font sometimes? I know that now. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope this entertained you in any sort of way. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you ever find yourself having to slap somebody on their newly healed tattoo, don't forget to use disinfectant.